I'm Tony Lawrence, and I am here to tell you that you are going to love the new Siri. It's in beta 2 now, and it's got some problems, yes, but it is beta 2. And the problems aren't the answers that it gives, the problems are that sometimes it gets hung up and can't answer. And I imagine that's probably because the servers are busy, and I hope that they're expanding them like crazy or trying to with the prices of memory. No wonder they just raised prices on everything. Anyway, so the problems are not in terms of its answers. The problems are little bugs where it won't do something that it can do, and you have to tell it several times over and over again to do it. Things like that. That's minor little bugs that I'm sure are going to be worked out. So, I had an electrician here yesterday. You see the light behind me there? It was a fluorescent light, and now it's an LED light. You can apparently, well, not apparently, I know it is because he just did it. You can put in bulbs that are LEDs right into the same receptacle that the fluorescent bulbs were in, and then you don't have to worry about those anymore. Don't have to worry about dropping them and creating a big, possibly dangerous mess when you take them out. They're going to be fine, and the LED bulbs will probably outlast me anyway. So the new Siri is great. I had some problems with it. For example, this morning I had recorded my voice on this so that I could then turn it on to a post at Medium. But when I got it over to Medium and I got it over to actually Notes, the Notes app, before getting it to Medium, I told it to edit it, but not change any of my words. Don't change my adverbs, don't change my adjectives, don't do anything but correct the punctuation and insert new paragraphs. Other than that, leave my text alone. I don't want AI messing with my text. Oh, and don't put any dashes in. Yeah. And it sort of did that the first time, except for it forgot to create a new note. It just put it on the screen. So I scolded it. I said, hey, I told you I want a new note. I want you to create a new note from this note right here. Take it, do what I told you to do to it, put it over in a new note. And it did that, but then it forgot to break it into paragraphs. I said, okay, this is good so far, but you didn't break this into paragraphs, so why don't you add some appropriate paragraph breaks now? And it said, oh, I can't do that. I can't add paragraphs to existing text. I said, okay, well, if you can't do that, then take this text, create another new note, and break it into paragraphs there. And it did that. I said, okay. So now I'm looking at that, and I said, oh, geez, let's put the title into title case. And it did it. And I said, well, that's really weird because you said that you couldn't change the existing text to add paragraphs, but you changed my existing text to change this text into title case. How is that? And it said, oh, I can add paragraphs to this text. So anyway, that's the type of thing that you run into, and I was all set anyway, so it took me a few extra steps, and that's the type of thing that you typically run into with betas, and I hope and assume that this stuff will be fixed and it will all be wonderful as you go on. And remember, this thing can access your messages and your mail, which it did for me to find some stuff that I couldn't find any other way. I use that almost every day when I'm trying to think of something. I wanted to warn my neighbor that the electrician had dropped one of the fluorescent tubes in my driveway, and it made a big mess, and we cleaned up the broken glass, but they often walk their dog, and he likes to come up my driveway and sniff at things, and so I warned them, don't let him come very far up my driveway because there may be tiny little bits of grass that could hurt the poor little puppy's paws. And I couldn't remember my neighbor's phone number to send them a text. So I asked Siri AI to find it for me, and it did. Bing. Yeah, because it can look through my mail, through my messages, find them, knew it was my neighbor, and went from there. You don't really have to necessarily give them a lot of information. Just tell them what you want to do like you'd tell an assistant that works with you all day long, and Surprisingly enough, most of the time you don't have to say any more than that. You're going to love the new Siri. You really are. It's wonderful. And yes, I know it's crap right now. Everybody knows it's crap. It's been crap for years and years and years, but it is no longer crap. It's wonderful. You're going to love it.